Hi. Hello everyone. It's me, Kaz Cassidy. Not live in living color. Instead, we're broadcasting this message via a pre-recorded video that I scripted out earlier today. This is not our regularly scheduled programming. While I have cultivated a certain aura and expectation on this channel for weird performance art and character work stuff, this is not that. There is no artifice involved. I am talking directly with you all, my audience, without pretense or tricks. You deserve to be able to digest this message with no fears of it being ironic, a bit, or anything that is not the truth. Likewise, I ask you to extend your kindness and grace back to me, and try your best to understand where I'm coming from. Alright, let's cut to the chase. We all know where these videos with these thumbnails end up going in the Vtuber sphere. What you're most likely thinking to yourself now is correct, as Cassidy is going on hiatus from streaming. I do not know for how long. It could be a week, it could be months. Might just be from streaming. It might also just be from pre-recorded content, but I truly do not know. At this point in time, I cannot give you a straightforward answer or timelines, and for that, I do apologize. This is a decision I did not want to have to make because of this entire VTubing thing. It's something that is so important to me and who I am as a person, but things outside of it in my real life have changed and forced my hand. I just want us all to be happy and healthy and entertained. That has been one of my goals since the inception of this channel. Unfortunately, I cannot meet it at the place where I am right now. I am not well. I have not been well for a long time, and I refuse to let that unwellness slip into this community. It is not something that you all deserve, and quite frankly, I do not deserve it either. What we do deserve is the assurance that I will be doing my best to come back better and healthier, and I promise you that I will try my hardest. Now, that is the end of my prepared statement announcing the hiatus. If that is all you wish to know, or already more than you cared to know, you can click off this video right now. No worries. I appreciate you coming to listen. I apologize if I shared more about me than you wish to hear. I will say my outro, and anyone else who wants to hear some more details and rationales with the understanding that things are going to get a bit real can stay. Okay, great. This is your off-ramp. Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Okay. My name is Kaz Cassidy, and if I do not see you soon, I will see you later. For those of you who did stay, here's another off-ramp. I'm going to drop some content trigger warnings here. First and foremost, mentions of mental illness, panic attacks, feeling of helplessness and being trapped. 2, issues with self-care and self-esteem. 3, discussion of non-invasive medical procedures. Nothing bloody, still medical. Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Okay. One more sign off for you guys. My name is Kaz Cassidy, and if I do not see you soon, I will see you later. Cool. Alright, let's talk shop a bit. If you're here, still, hello. I will now be going into some details about the acute event leading to my decision to take a hiatus. I ask that you listen intently and extend some empathy. I do not believe that either party involved comes out looking great. This is not a hit piece. This is a singular event. It's not the reason I'm going on hiatus. It is simply the straw that broke the camel's back. If it was not last night, it just would have been another night. I do not wish any ill will unto the other party. Please be adults and do the same. No targeting, no harassment. Just let it be. What's done is done. Be the good people I know that my audience can be. If you're seeing this video soon after I upload, some of you may think you know what I'm talking about, and you are probably right. I am indeed referencing a moment many hours into my Mega Man 1 stream where, upon reading a message from a chat trying to bro me and tell me to aim better, I paused the game, I blew up aggressively yelling the words, "Ayo, shut the F up, actually." It is at that point where I began to feel a decisive pang in my chest, shortness of breath, lingering pain in my upper right shoulder and arm, and an elevated heart rate. They continued to chat and backseat with me, and I eventually further yelled, "I'm done with this S. I'm done. I worked 50 hours this week. I just want a game. I'm done." And then I timed them out, and then I proceeded to stream for another 20 minutes under the sinking suspicion that I was actively having a heart attack. For anyone who is listening, please internalize this. Do not do what I did. Be smart. Go to a hospital. If you feel like you are having a heart attack, take it seriously. I'd only stopped stream because the chatter later returned using an alter account, refusing to stop talking and backseating. Emotionally, I had checked out. Internally, my heart had felt like it had checked out 20 minutes prior. And after abruptly ending the stream, I had called a friend to externalize these feelings, to make sure that what was going on was actually happening. I looked up the nearest medical facility that was open, that took my insurance, and then I called 911. Luckily, my roommate was in the house, and he was able to take me to the ER. While I was there, the staff was very kind to me. They got me checked out. My EKG and labs came back great. The x-rays they took of my lungs were fine. I did not pop them yelling. I saw an ultrasound of my heart. I did not handle looking at it well, but the actual results were fine. The main concern from them was the overwhelming anxiety and stress that was very evident during my visit. I have since taken the proper steps to follow up with my primary care provider and a behavioral health specialist this week. Now, why am I telling you all this? Reason number 1, I'm a chronic oversharer. Those of you who have been here long enough, they know. I am really bad at not doing that. Reason number 2, to assuage any concerns and clear up any questions of the viewers of that stream that I am currently stable. The pronounced distress and abrupt exit were not being over-exaggerated. I legitimately was having a mental and medical crisis. Reason number 3, to apologize to the chatter. I was immature. I am an adult. I did not handle mild criticism well, and I reacted in a way that was unprofessional and unbecoming of me. From the bottom of my heart, I apologize, and I hope that you are well, and that if you do see this, or if you do not see this, that you do not let this weigh on your conscience. Again, I should have done things better. Reason number 4, so that I, myself, can reflect and process this entire ordeal better. There were so many points in which I could have properly advocated for myself and resolved the situation entirely if I had just put my own health and well-being first. The first point, I did not need to marathon stream Mega Man 1 with the intention of also beating Mega Man 2 in a single sitting, especially after having streamed for over 8 combined hours the previous day. Point 2, I did not need to engage with the chatter after their first criticism. I very well should have just timed them out and then let it go. Point the third, I did not need to blow up on them, wait too long to time them out, and then blow up them louder and more aggressively when I did eventually time them out. Subpoint, I really should have ended stream immediately afterwards and then gone to the hospital. And the final point that I want to make very clear, I did not, and I'm stressing this very strongly, I did not need to continue streaming for a full 20 minutes afterwards once I had felt that I was having heart issues. To other streamers that are watching this, none of our streams are so important that we should be willing to suffer serious medical consequences just to continue. This is not my primary source of income. I was not contractually obligated to stream. Neither of those are valid reasons. But the point of the matter is, I did not have either of those reasons, and I still chose to stream. I chose to continue, and I was not brave to do that. I was being self-destructive and dangerous. I'm ashamed to have done that. I will do my best in the future to act in manners befitting of someone who actually seems to take care of their own well-being. So, that was last night. Let's step back a bit. Like I said, the hiatus isn't just because of that. To quote one of my favorite videos of all time, I think this is a microcosm of more serious things. I've made it explicitly clear in my words, my branding, and my everything that I am struggling with burnout. It's been something that I've dealt with since I was young. Back in high school, I would overcommit myself to groups, to projects, to everything. Logistically, there was no way to accomplish them. At least not all of them, but by God, I was going to try. And I would get through a lot of them, but when I didn't, I would just have these glorious bridge-burning meltdowns. No concern for how uncomfortable they made others around me feel, and no matter how much people with my best interests at their heart, mind you, would tell me to stop for my own sake. And I didn't, because I kept accomplishing things. I did not learn and internalize proper coping skills for when I was met with a difficulty that I could not overcome. Rather, I refused to internalize that there were things that I could not overcome at all. In college, this became less great for me because, word to the wise, things do get harder in college, and there are some things you just cannot do. I did not know how to ask for help. I didn't know how to tell people that I had limits, and if someone had asked me to do something, I would do it with no questions and no accommodations. And if I failed, I would just burn the bridge, and I would feel like an absolute failure. And again, I had other people with my best interest at heart assuring me that I was not a failure, but I did not listen to them. When it came time to graduate, I had internalized heavily that I was a failure, and in doing so, I had convinced myself not to chase my dreams of working in film and entertainment. Instead, I took the first offer I received from the job that I had been working at for 2.5 years. I used to say, I didn't sell out, I bought in, but for certain, I sold out. We do not need to litigate that. I have come to terms with it. I stopped being a creative, full stop. And it sucked really bad. And then it really started to suck when I decided for myself that I could not perform adequately at my job while still responsibly managing my mental well-being. On stream, I don't think I make myself out to be the smartest person, like a bit quick with the wit if I want to glaze myself a bit, but not the smartest. But when I was training for my job, I was struggling. Too much was going on, and I couldn't absorb it all. I thought that I was going to get fired from this job that I for certain was not qualified for based on my college degree. So I did the number one thing you're not supposed to do if you're diagnosed with what I have, and you've been relatively stable for a long period of time. I stopped seeing a therapist and my psychiatrist, and I stopped taking medications. The rationale was that the crippling anxiety and mind racing would make the fast-paced job doable. And the thing that sucks is it did make it doable, very much so. And that's really bad. And I have something to say. Because when I try and explain this to people, I have an analogy. And they say it's messed up. And I fully agree it's messed up, but I think the point will come across. I want you to imagine that your mind is a series of 8 hamsters running on 8 wheels. Any task you have to take on that requires brain power requires a minimum amount of effort to be exerted to execute. There are no upper bounds on how much energy a single wheel can output, but there are limits to how fast a hamster can run. If it runs too fast, the hamster has to get off the wheel lest it harm itself. When I was on my medications, it felt like there were 4 wheels being run at a given time. And when a crisis came to me that required more brain power to execute, those hamsters clocked out and another 4 took their place. But when I stopped taking care of myself, all 8 hamsters clocked in at once to distribute the load, but no one ever took a break. And they haven't taken a break for about 2.5 years now, and they are all just so tired. So I stopped doing things outside of work so that those hamsters could keep running. And I lost a lot of friends because I just didn't put in the effort they deserved. I thought that I couldn't do it anymore. It wouldn't be fair to them, so to keep myself sane, I gave the hamsters a side project. Kaz Cassidy was born on October 1st of 2023. And originally he was an excuse to force me to leave work on time 2 days a week and work on projects on the weekends. And the hamsters, they really like Kaz Cassidy. And that's where I believe the crux of the issue is. Eventually, all the hamsters got a turn working on Kaz Cassidy, and they know that working on him makes them feel good. About the amount of bad they feel when they're not, and sometimes more. Over time, the hamsters decided that they'd like to just be working with Kaz Cassidy. And I'd say that was somewhere around October 22nd of 2024 when I started streaming daily and uploading daily shorts. But now, back to 4 hamsters on, 4 hamsters off. And the work at work has gotten more complicated. Now, the hamsters are all crying out that they need to turn on the Kaz wheel, and I don't want to tell them they can't because they've been giving 200% work in and day out for so much longer than they reasonably should have been asked to. And this came to a head on Friday, the 7th of February. I was still working at like 6, and the night before, I had posted some concerning things on my private Instagram. My friend from work, God bless him, had decided to check up on me. And no matter how much I told him to go away and to enjoy his weekend, he would not leave. And then I said it. I said, if I can just be Kaz Cassidy for 48 hours straight this weekend, I'll be okay. And then he looked me dead in the eyes and said, but what about you? And I just broke down and I cried. I don't think I've been okay for a long time. And I've been slipping into Kaz mode to hide from that. So it's time to stop. For now, at least. So to extremely oversimplify this, I had a really bad day at the end of a really bad week as a part of a really bad couple of years. And because I love doing this, because this is my passion, because this is helping me become everything I've ever wanted to be, I have to let it go for a bit. I cannot let being Kaz Cassidy every waking moment that I'm not at my job become my replacement for taking care of myself when I'm not him. Because I'm afraid I'll learn to hate him too. And after all he's done for me, he doesn't deserve that. Because I love that man. I love every bit of him. Every stupid little costume. Every accent, every character. And I dream that one day I'll love myself as much as I love him, but we're not there yet. So I gotta leave him alone for a bit. And this isn't goodbye. At least not forever. I know I'm too stubborn to tell you all that I'm not saying goodbye to him. Because I'm not. And so for the last time for a bit, I think I'm gonna steal his line. Because I like it a lot. If I don't see you soon, I'll see you later.